the alkalines must override the acids by a ratio of 4 to 1. 75% of your diet should be alkaline reacting foods.
Can you tell us what those alkaline foods are, please?
Yeah, I can. 25% should be the acid form. The alkaline forming foods are very simple. Basically, fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. They're alkaline.
All the fruits are?
No. I mean, that's basic. There are 5 fruits that are acid forming. See? But they're all in my books that I've written. But the idea I want to get across is that the alkalines must override the acids in order to have a balanced diet. A balanced diet does not mean 50-50. It means 75% alkaline, 25% acid. The acid formers are 2 things, meats and grains. Meats and grains. Now, going back to the alkalines, the vegetables should override the fruit. And the reason for that is the fructose. You got sugar. It's still, even though it's fruit sugar, the point is it's still sugar. So the vegetables, green, leafy, is the most valuable thing. Anybody with arthritis or psoriasis or eczema or lupus, any one of them.
Oh, lupus also.
Lupus also is classified as a suspect in leaky gut syndrome.
Oh.
In fact, there are many other diseases that are classified as being suspect. I'll just give you an idea of what some of them are, which will amaze you. It will truly surprise you, if I can find it. All right, here's an idea of what could be possibly linked to a leaky gut syndrome. Of course, psoriasis and eczema, irritable bowel syndrome, spondyloarthropathies, which means the spine and the joints are inflamed, like an arthritis, urticaria, hives, cystic fibrosis, glandular problems, autism, childhood hyperactivity, that's ADHD, eye problems, and arthritis, all different types of arthritis. These are only a few. You can add to that schizophrenia, if you can believe that, and they are all linked, medically speaking, to leaky gut syndrome. That's why it's, to me, that's where research should really be centered. More on that, and it covers a multitude of diseases. However, they haven't gotten around to that yet. So the point I'm getting at is the diet plays a key role in healing the walls of the intestine, which in turn heals the leaky gut. See?
I know that I'm very sensitive to food, as you know, and I likely have the leaky gut syndrome. And I know that when I eat different foods, I can have a totally different personality. I can't.
Absolutely.
With some foods, I just can't even function.
Right. How it affects your thinking, your emotions, as well as your physical body. You can't separate the two. You see? I mentioned the acid formers. The acid formers are meats and grains. The idea is no red meat at all. But you
now,
could have.
I need red meat.
Then you take it.
Yeah,
see?
my
but I
body.
prefer lamb because it's the most easily digested. It doesn't take as many acids to break it down for absorption. Lamb, well done, may serve that purpose, and you got to follow your inner instincts on that. And then the most valuable is fish, especially the dark, oily type fish, and chicken and turkey. See? However, nothing fried. Remember that. You can have it any way you want except fried.
What about the chicken today that's full of antibiotics? And
Well, that's why you buy organic.
Okay.
Yeah, see to it that you buy organic chickens or whenever you can do that, see? And then you'll see. Then more, very important also regarding this is 6 to 8 glasses of pure water a day. You'll be surprised how many people just don't drink water. They'll have maybe a half a glass or a glass, maybe. They don't even do that. But when they start with water, I've said, especially eczema patients should stay away from fruit juice and just drink water until they clear up. Then they can go back. Now mind you, Cathy, I'm not saying forever on these things. Only until you want to get well. till your body responds. And you'll see, and you'll find that it's the most nutritious diet you could ever have. Green leafy vegetables, juices of that, or in a blender, mixed in a blender. I'll give you a quick alkaline drink. In a blender, you chop up celery, carrots, and lettuce. Just those three. Put them in a blender, pour water in. You can squeeze the juice of a lemon in there and whip it up to a green drink and drink it down immediately.
And it tastes
That's
good?
one of the best drinks. Huh?
And it tastes good?
Well, I think it does. When I take it, I like it. But it's true. It's one of the healthiest things you can possibly consume. It's all alkaline, and you can get an immediate, alkaline good reaction to it.
Does exercise play any role in
Yes.
healing?
Exercise is highly recommended, provided it's not contact sports, because the skin of the psoriatic patient is very sensitive, and one bruise could form a whole lesion, and spread. Will spread all over the body. So, but walking is the best exercise. Cycling is good. Swimming is excellent, especially in salt water. But don't get sunburned. Don't ever get sunburned. But those are the kind of sports where you're not going to impact the body by a direct blow of some kind. Very important. See?
I know that Cayce talks a lot about right thinking as well.
Can
you speak to that?
Right thinking is important. And by that I mean you can keep it in its simplest terms. When I tell my patients, think health, don't think disease. That way your little twitch in the mind is taking place. It's a little trick on using your mentality. That when you think health, you'll draw it to you. When you think sickness, you'll draw that to you. So both ways you win. So choose to be healthy and hold those thoughts. And the reason I like to see my patients personally, of course, is to give them evidence as to how well it works so that they could believe that it can happen by following this holistic type of approach. In no way am I saying it's a replacement for medical procedures. No way. What I'm saying is that it's an alternative. If for any reason medical science doesn't work, this may work. See? I'll give you an example of how effective it can be. Here's one of my patients, a 14-year-old girl. 14-year-old girl. She's had this for a period of 5 years. When her mother called me, she said to me she won't come down from her room. She just sits on the edge of her bed and cries all day long. Her life was virtually destroyed. Now, look at her 2 months later.
Wow. It's almost all gone.
Yeah, practically all gone. Now, NBC picked up on this program as well, and they put us on national television. And the producer said to me when the show was over that in all the years, 12 years that he's been producing, he said he's never seen the light board lit up by people calling in.
What show is that?
That was America's Talking.
Oh.
When that was up and running. America's Talking. Now that young girl thought she was eating right. Her biggest problem was macaroni and cheese. She just felt it was good. It's all carbohydrate. It's all sugar. It's all fat. You see? As soon as she stopped that, within 2 months, she completely cleared up. Completely.
Do you want to talk about the flare-up, just so people are aware of that?
Yes, there was a flare-up with her in the middle of it because she was so well that she started going back to her old way of eating too soon.